Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Great to have you all with us, however, wherever and whenever you're watching. It is Tuesday night, October 21st, 2025. Great to have you all here. My name, of course, is Tim McClelland. And again, walking the streets of the Empire State, walking from his workplace to his homestead is, of course, the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast, Mr. John Flynn. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, partner. How you doing tonight?
Not too shabby here. Wish I could say the same from a fantasy team, but of course we'll get into that in a little
Oh,
bit. And of course, our commissioner John Natale, he'll be joining us here in a little bit here. So we are almost right at the halfway point of the NFL season already, but technically we're basically at the halfway point of the fantasy season. So we have a little special feature coming up for all of you coming up here in a little while from now. But right now, we have got to go back and check out the action from uh, from week 7 of our fantasy league. So I will go ahead and cue this up on the screen. And there we go. All right. Well, we will start with my matchup last week with Mr. Flynn, and he took care of me by a score of 175-22 to 163-06. And looking down here at the starting lineups here, he did pretty good here, I must say. 28.42 from Jackson Dart, who, in my opinion, is still having a great rookie year, if I should say so. Jalen Warren from Pittsburgh got 19.8, 26.8 from Chris Olave, Tyler Warren 16.9. What about Run CMC? 39.1 fantasy points, along with 12 points from the Seahawks defense special teams, who took care of the Texans last night on Monday Night Football. Over on my end of the spectrum here, I got 23.26 points from Dak Prescott, 20.8 from DeAndre Swift, 22 from CD Lamb. Welcome back, CD. And welcome back, Rasheed Rice. He got me 23.2. Jake Ferguson got me 21.9. Got 14 points from the Chiefs defense and special teams that totally blanked the Raiders this past Sunday. And looking at our bench players, well, let's see. I got 23. I would have gotten a little bit more from Matthew Stafford, but I don't think it would have made any difference here.
no,
Uh,
I don't think so. But so I mean, three things to note. One, Tim had the unfortunate happening this week of losing despite scoring the second most points in the league this week, and he just happened to face the one person who he would have lost to. So yeah, it's a tough one, but Tim really can't. We can't complain about what his own team did because five different players put up 20 fantasy points. But I think three big things on my end. One, I was actually pretty nervous about Jackson Dart going up against the Denver defense, and I really had to hold
right.
my breath. I really had to hold my breath this week because Lamar Jackson, my starting quarterback, is on the bye week this week. But I mean, but Dart was simply was quite productive, and despite the Giants' horrific loss on Sunday afternoon, so it's clear that the Giants have their franchise quarterback, and it's Jackson Dart. And I mean, it's been a while since we get to say this, where we actually have some hope for the future. So I'm very excited about that. Another thing was so last week on the program, said that John Natale and I pulled off a trade in real time where I acquired Jalen Warren for Jordan Addison,
Mhm.
and it paid immediate dividends for me as he picked up 19. But really, the big difference to me was the drafting of Christian McCaffrey with my first pick, and he was dynamite. The Falcons had no answers for him in stopping him in either in the passing game where he had 8 catches for 72 yards, and then on the ground he had 129 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. He was unstoppable on Sunday night in the win over the Atlanta Falcons.
Right. Unbelievable there. So with that, Flynn goes to a record of 5-2. Meanwhile, I've dropped my fifth in a row, which keeps me down to 1-6. And the ironic thing is, in my Yahoo league, I'm actually 6-1.
Yeah.
So I may have to make some comparisons with this team on this league and that team on the other league. I'll
Yeah,
just have to
yeah,
see what's going on.
yeah. In my other 3 leagues, one league I'm 6-1, where I have the best team in the league by far, and it's deserve that record. Another league I'm 4-3, and another league I'm 3-4, and in this one I'm 5-2.
Aha. So that's how that matchup played out. Going to the matchup between Adam Oliver, who, by the way, his birthday is tomorrow. So
Yeah,
we'll be able to wish Adam Oliver a happy birthday as he turns big 4-0. He went up against David this week, and David got a victory over Adam 150-98 to 125-56. Looking at David's numbers here, got 23.8 points from Drake May. I'm telling you, Drake May, I like him more and more every week. I watch the highlights, and
I'm not surprised that he was going to break out this year, but to play at a high level through the first especially the last few weeks, I mean that's a credit to Josh McDaniels for instilling a sense of confidence in him that he really did not have last year under it's last year.
yeah, he got 28.1 points from AJ Brown, helping his cause and helping the Eagles beat the Vikings this past week.
Yeah, 4 catches, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. And hey, isn't it amazing what happens when you give your best players the football?
That's right. That's right. He did get David got 22 points from that Patriots defense special teams. Meanwhile, on the other side, Adam got 22.56 from Aaron Rodgers. Big 34.2 points from Jonathan Taylor. I mean, that guy, he could be a candidate for comeback player of the year.
And I also would have to imagine that might now be at two of the strongest contenders. Maybe you can throw in Patrick Mahomes in this as well, but you have to look at Jonathan Taylor, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and Christian McCaffrey as well. He's had a great season, and then Patrick Mahomes. So those are probably the 4 best candidates for Offensive Player of the Year right now. And it's a credit to the stability that Shane Steichen has provided for this Colts team. They're 6-1. You can make an argument they've been the best team in football. Their offense, and J.J. Watt said on Sunday that there's no big weakness with the offense of the Indianapolis Colts. The offensive guru and this team is playing at such a high level right now. It's not just Daniel Jones. It's the offensive line. It's the depth at receiver. It's Tyler Warren, who we're going to be talking about a little bit later. And and everything, and the coaching as well, and the defense has been playing good too. So they can't be discounted either.
Oh, absolutely not. I think those four names you said are pretty much best candidates for the comeback player of the year. I would definitely agree with you on
No,
that.
I wouldn't say comeback player, offensive player of the year.
Oh, offensive player of the year. Oh, now I see, and yeah, I definitely agree with that. So, and of course, Brandon Aubrey got out of 18 points. Look at some bench numbers. Jamar Chase left 38.1 on the table for David. That's pretty unfortunate right there. 13.2 from Romeo Dobbs. Nothing much there otherwise. Over on Adam's side, not many points left on the table. 13 from Ernest Jones and 13.2 from Kyle Pitts. So with that matchup, Adam goes to 2-5. David goes to 3-4. Let's go to the matchups
Yeah,
between Case.
and yeah, and also, by the way, if the series were to end today, David would be in the playoffs, and both you and Natale would be out.
Yeah, yeah,
What
that's
wouldn't that be something if David made the playoffs and Natale didn't?
that would be that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Going to the matchup between Casey and Alex here. Casey beat Alex by a score of 139.54 to 116.26. Looking at their starting numbers, uh, looks like Casey was able to get 26.24 from Patrick Mahomes, 12 from Chase Brown, 12.9 from Justin Jefferson. Amon-Ra St. Brown still doing his thing. Got 21.6 fantasy points, 28.3 from my man JSN. And Lions got him 17 points for their defense and special teams. And over on Alex's side, well, his best player was Travis Huddard with 24.1 fantasy points. He only got 13.6 from Jordan Love. Let's see who his Kyler Murray his quarterback didn't get anything there. Got so
I mean, Kyler Murray, I thought was hurt going into it, so I think Jacoby Brissett played.
okay. So uh, meanwhile on uh meanwhile on Casey's bench, Deuce is wild here from Daniel Jones 22.22. CJ Stroud with 13.66, and Michael Pittman Jr. left 20.8 points on the table. So with that matchup, Casey goes up to 4-3 for the season, while Putnam goes down to 2-5. Then this matchup, we had Dino going up against Lucas, and it looks like our man Daniel got the short end of the stick this time. 155.84 for Lucas, 133.24 for Dino. Let's see. Lucas's starting players here got 30. Yeah, big 36.8 points from Jameer Gibbs. And of course, that was thanks to an unbelievable 78-yard touchdown run. That was amazing.
Gibbs was unbelievable last night, and it really shows to show you that of how high the ceiling is for the Lions team, and don't get the Kansas City loss so twisted. The Lions have a superb roster from top to bottom, and against a well coached Bucks team, they completely kicked their butts last night. And it's a credit to coaching, the front office, and the creative and the creative path they took to construct this team. This is a team that's going to be in it for the long haul.
Oh yeah, they will definitely be contenders in the NFC North for a long time to come. Uh, So Lucas got Keenan Allen with 28.9 points. Zach Ertz 12-7. Panthers defense special teams got 18. Meanwhile, over on Dino's side of the board, he only got 19. Oh, no, he was projected at 19, but he got 24-4 from Jalen Hurts, 26-4 from Quinshawn Judkins. Now this Quinshawn Judkins guy, I'm impressed with him. I mean, of course, yeah, he plays for the Browns, but he's really helping the cause for the team in some way. And yeah,
he's probably he's arguably their best player on offense, and it helped that Tua Tagovailoa, or as Putnam would like to call it, Tua turned the ball over as I was set up rushing touchdowns, and Tua Tagovailoa threw another interception as I was mentioning that.
right. Devontae Adams for the Rams got 19-3, 14-2 from Robert Tunze, George Kittle with 13, Rashad White 18. And looking at the bench numbers here, Justin Herbert left 28.9 on the table on Lucas's side. Meanwhile, Dino 12-5 from Devontae Smith, 11-7 from Matthew Golden, 13-9 from Brian Thomas Jr., 14-6 from Rico down. Well, 10. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. It's 10-6 from Rico down. See, I was looking at the projected totals. But Devontae Smith got 33-3, which was definitely some big points there. Tucker Kraft or as I like to call him, Tucker Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, 16.8 and 10.6 from Rico Dowdle. And Jack Campbell, linebacker for Detroit, got 10. So, with that being said, that puts Lucas with a record of 5-2. Dino still at 6-1 and very much in the lead.
He was the only unbeaten, and now he suffered his first loss of the season this week. So the 72 Dolphins can really give a champagne toast.
Right. And in this matchup between Andrew and Natale, oh wow, this is bad. It's 148.06 for Andrew and only 69.12 for Natale.
Everything that could have gone wrong for Natale this week did.
Yeah, only double digit was Baker Mayfield at 11-12. Meanwhile, down on this bench, 22.8 left by Jordan Addison and 15.5 by Wan'Dale Robinson.
I asked. I offered him Jordan Addison to the trade. Why didn't he use him? I mean, wouldn't have mattered. But Jordan Addison scored more points this week than Jalen Warren.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in theory, it should have been a win-win trade for both sides, but Natale decided not to use him. I mean, come on now. Against the Eagles, not having to play Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, come on, Natale.
So I guess it's for that reason that I have to send this to Natale.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I guess it's kind of a good thing that he's not here right now. That when I played that, so
it's an embarrassment, a pathetic, putrid, embarrassing joke. Come on now.
I guess you could say Natale did well, I'll let the coach speak for us.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked.
Yeah, and actually yesterday was the 29-year anniversary of that rant.
Oh, yesterday, 29 years.
Yeah, and I believe it was today. It was the following day. Today, 29 years ago, I think, when Jim Moore resigned as the coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I think he still does like a local show in the area for Saints
Yeah.
football. I think so.
I
He's
mean, I
still
mean,
involved.
it's, and his workout routines for his age are pretty insane.
Wow, I need to look that up. So,
Yeah.
meanwhile, over on the other side here, Andrew got a huge points from Bo Nix, 39.96, 16.8 from Ramondre Stevenson. T. Higgins went good with a 21.6. Lad McConkey, a respectable 15.7. 29.4 from Trey McBride, who I still think is one of the top, definitely in the top 10 tight ends in the league. And let's see, his bench players, well, the only real thing that sticks out here is this 19.5 left on the table from Zach Charbonnet. So with that being said, that brings the records. Natale is now 3-4, while Andrew is 4-3. So that is how the results were from last week. Now let's go ahead and take a look ahead to this week. And ooh, I have got a tough one because I'm facing Daniel.
Is that we're
Yep.
going up against the team that's 6-1.
Yeah. The two teams that are on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that again.
I'd rather not. And right now, projected totals. Right now it's pretty close. He's projected at 127.5, while I'm at 123.5. Looks like most of the check marks are pointed in my direction as far as my receivers, my tight ends. I'm going to have to bench Sam Laporta because the Lions are off this week. And I know. Looks like he's got an empty spot right here that he can fill. Oh, that's his kicker spot. So get
I
himself
mean,
a
you, I mean, I
kicker
mean,
if he has one
yeah,
on the bench.
yeah, and you know that if he doesn't like his kicker option this week, he's going to be interested in the waiver wire.
Yeah, he'll definitely be interested in the waiver wire. And well, let's welcome in our faithful and trustworthy commissioner right now. And there he is. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, doing all right. I'm sort of happy. I got my wish. The guy who blew the game for the Giants has been cut, as you see on my caption there. Big Blue Coup. Welcome to Big Blue Coup.
So it's now official. Coos been signed by the Giants.
As far as I know, it's got to be him. Who else would it be?
I mean, Graham Cano is eligible to come off IR this week.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
So I guess for all you Giants fans, I will proudly say, "Coo,
Yeah.
Cuckoo, I am the walrus."
We got the coup.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't feel he was going to get cut. I was right.
Well,
He deserved to be cut after that.
Yeah.
My trivia question will be related to this.
It's a, but I mean, to me, the moment that the game went south to me was when Paul Sinadivo left the game to the injury, and Deontay Banks. I mean, if I had a mouth chew piece like Frank the Tank does, I would be using it all over my mouth and sing. But
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But I mean, the Giants might be bad in Natale, but as far as I would be concerned, Natale, I'd be more concerned about your fantasy team than the real life football team.
Yeah, everything just went wrong there. Not one of my players performed.
So, I mean, I gave you Jordan Addison for a reason that you didn't use him.
That Eagles defense scares me.
No, Quinton Mitchell didn't play, and Justin Jefferson would have to go up against Darius Slay, and and Jordan Addison would have had the subject of Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo, who are both fraudulent players.
Yeah, he's in my lineup this week. I made some changes.
Yeah.
So, oh, you're playing me, so this week will be the true test of who won this trade.
He better be in your lineup this week.
He is. I did it a little while ago, a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
There's buys galore this week.
Yes, because six teams run by, and that includes Jackson Smith and Jigba. That includes Amon-Ra St. Brown. That includes Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. Of course, you have to put him in.
Yeah. You think you'd learn something, but I mean, and Natale, you know, you're my friend, you're my bro. But unfortunately,
yeah, go ahead. You gotta play it again. Let's play it again.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
It's also like if the season were to end today, our season were to end today, David would be in the playoffs, and Natale, you would be out.
Yeah, I know. He has the tiebreaker over me.
Yeah, because he kicked your ass last week.
Yeah. This season, my changes ran over my head. I should not have done this. I thought the stacking would be fun, but it turned out it wasn't.
Well, you have the first of your answers when we do the lessons learned episode in February after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that will definitely be a lesson learned right there.
I might be slowly considering this now, like grouping everybody, making a free for all. I might have to.
But hey, Timmy can counter that with his stack and CD stack.
So we were just looking over the matchups for this week. I've got a tough one against Dino, but right now our projected totals are pretty close. I have to bench Sam Laporta since the Lions are on the bye this week. So I don't have another tight end on the bench, so I have to go to the waiver wire for that. So that would be an interesting matchup right here. Well, it looks like you two guys have a matchup against each other this week.
Yep.
And right now, Flynn holds the edge 134.9 to 122 even. Taking a look here. Looks like Flynn's going to have to bench his Seahawks teams. They're on the bye this week.
Yeah, I put in the waiver claims for that, so hopefully I can get what I needed for that.
So pretty much Natale has Natale seems like you only got the quarterback and your defense special teams.
I gotta get myself a kicker. The Lions are on the bye.
You're just like the Giants. You need a kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know who I'm going to get yet, but I know I have to. I have no choice. It's a hard decision, but I have to drop Waller. I have no other option.
So,
I don't want to risk losing Bates next week, so I'm going to have to drop Waller, even though he's been solid for me the 2 weeks I had him.
Yeah. I mean, in real life football, we call that a cap casualty.
Yeah. But hey, that day it took Waller worked out because I won.
Yeah.
So that's what that matchup looks like right here. Meanwhile, we're going to this week's matchup between Putnam and we got Alex and David going up against each other. David right now has the advantage 133.8 to 108.8. Looking at their starting lineups here. Putnam's got 3 guys going on the bye, so he'll have to make some changes. Meanwhile, I don't think David needs to make any changes unless there's players on his bench. Well, it doesn't have that many they can put in here, and DJ Reed's on the bye anyway. So
he's got Jamar Chase on his bench.
He's got Jamar Chase on the bench, so
As long as this in theory should be a perfect matchup for him because the Bengals are playing the artist formerly known as the Jets.
Yeah. So that's basically how that matchup goes down right now. Let's go to this week's matchup between Lucas and Casey. Right now, low projected totals here: 119.3 for Lucas and 85.4 for Casey. One, two, three, four players on Casey's team that needs to be changed out. Meanwhile, Lucas only has his kicker that he needs to replace for this week. Other than that, so CJ Stroud, Jacoby Byers, Daniel Jones. Oh, Daniel Jones against, okay, he's projected, let's see, 20.6. And he's got Patrick Mahomes at 24.9. Mahomes against the Commanders or Jones against the Titans?
I mean, those are both equally favorable matchups, but but right now, if I was a manager of that, I would choose Patrick Mahomes.
I would tend to agree with you there. So that's how that matchup goes. And finally, we're going to Adam. He's 2-5 right now. Andrew is 3, and right now Adam has a slight edge right now in the projected totals: 124.7 to 119.3. Looking at the starting lineups, looks like Andrew has a tight end that he needs to fill up here. Adam needs to replace his defensive player. And he's got Nate Landman. He's got Nate Landman from the Rams on the bench. Oh, he's on the bye right now, so he's going to have to go fishing for a tight end there. So that's basically how that matchup works out. And that's our previews for our fantasy league. So with that being said, we will go ahead and clear that out. And we will go into a very interesting project that we have this week. See, we mentioned earlier that we're about at the halfway point of the regular season in fantasy football. So Natale, Flynn had this idea of us coming up with our picks as to who we think were the most surprising and the most disappointing players at the major fantasy football positions so far this year. I've taken a gander at those lists here, and I must say, very, very, very interesting. I must say. So, I guess with that being said, I guess since this was the first one I received here, we'll go ahead and start with our man Flynn here, and we'll let him discuss his mid-season surprises for fantasy so far this year. So go ahead, Flynn.
Yeah, and I thought this was a good creative idea because there's 7 weeks left for most of you out there in your regular seasons before the playoffs start, which we define as weeks 15 through 17. So by doing the math, 7 weeks down, 7 to go before them. But so each of us have two surprises and disappointments for each position, as Tim mentioned. But so I'm going to start with my picks for biggest fantasy surprises, and the two of them that come into mind are Jackson Dart and Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you're saying Patrick Mahomes is a surprise, well, I'll explain that in a little bit. But Jackson Dart has been a splendid surprise, splendid with the Giants. And he's actually been a big surprise. And if you look at some of the stats that I put together, he's averaging 22.5 fantasy points per game since he took over as the starting quarterback for the New York Football Giants. So he has been playing at a high level. He's making some risky throws. With a good amount of them have worked, and he's brought a different energy and vibe into this offense, which really hasn't been seen from a Giants offense in at least 5-6 years. When Daniel Jones just sparked the Giants offense a little bit when he was a rookie, when he was still being coached under Pat Shermer. And so why is Patrick Mahomes a surprise? So I thought that Pat Mahomes was still going to be in that QB 6 to 10 range, but not this year. So 1,800 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, 2 picks, and he also has 250 rushing yards for the season, which is only 7 behind the league leader among quarterbacks, and that's Justin Fields. And he also has 4 rushing touchdowns. So when you combine that, averaging 25 points a game in fantasy, yeah, he's the #1 fantasy quarterback in the NFL, and the Mahomes show is so back. And so is the Kansas City Chiefs, who very much look like the team that could represent the AFC in the Super Bowl again. So that's that with the quarterbacks. Running backs, I'm going to go with 2 running backs who I did not think would stand in the top 10 right now, but Cam Scatterbo and Javonte Williams are exactly bad. Cam Scatterbo, his hard-nosed physical toughness has played a role in this, and over the last 6 weeks, so yeah, he only had a couple of touches in the Week 1 game against Washington, but nonetheless, he is averaging 19.1 fantasy points a game, and he has 5 total touchdowns, which puts him at RB8. And then Javonte Williams too. He's been a beneficiary of the Cowboys' high-powered offense, and he's averaging over 5 yards per carry. He has 5 total touchdowns himself, and throughout the whole season, he's the second leading rusher in the NFL. Yeah, that's good enough for him to be in a top spot for him. And wide receivers. So this is an ode to Ohio State's factory of wide receivers. 2 weeks ago, when you saw the Bucs and the Seahawks play, so both of these receivers put on a show. But Jackson Smith and Jigba being the #1 wide receiver in fantasy, so what was definitely not something on my bingo card. But the fact that he has not only that but he also has 190 more receiving yards than the next best wide receiver. I think that's the most mind-boggling thing of the season so far. And 14 catches of 20-plus receiving yards is insane as well for him. And he's averaging 18 points. He's averaging 22.1 points a game. Then Emeka Egbuka, he's been splendid, and who knows where this Buccaneers team would be without his surfaces as well. He's been great. Wide receiver 6, I did not see that one coming. And then tight ends, we're going to go with a couple of NFC East tight ends for this exercise. Dallas Goedert leads all NFL tight ends in receptions and touchdowns. So he's been great on that end, and then Dallas Goedert, he's been a steady presence and needed really for that Philadelphia Eagles offense against the with some of the struggles going on there offensively. So he's been great there. He comes into this week as the #4 tight end in fantasy football. So from the surprises now come the disappointments. So once we get those out there, I'll hammer them down.
Yeah, gotta look at the other end of the spectrum here. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I put up the right one here. Let me recheck this one. Let me recheck it again. All right, here we go.
Yeah, and some of them were pretty sobering to me. It's because I was really high on guys like Justin Fields, Nico Collins, Marvin Harrison Jr. I have them and Evan Ingram because I drafted all of them in my fantasy leagues, and safe to say I've been pretty disappointed in them so far. And all these 8 players rank outside the top 20 in fantasy at their respective positions, but Justin Fields, he's had 3 games where he's had 20 or more fantasy points, and the other 3 games he's had less than 5. And he got benched, and it looks like Tyrod Taylor is going to start for the Jets in the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. So you're looking at Joe Flacco and Tyrod Taylor going head to head at the quarterback position in Cincinnati coming up this week. And then Michael Penix Jr. He showed some promise down the stretch of last season, but unfortunately he's been inconsistent. And I told you that the Falcons would take a step back when they got when they lost to the Niners on Sunday night, and he's just not moving the needle for me at all. So Michael Penix Jr. is on there, and then Derrick Henry. Yeah, he's averaging. He's averaging 4.5 yards per carry, but he's not wowing like he did, or what's warranted of a late first round, early second round pick, where he was that was the consensus time he'd be taken off the board in fantasy drafts. And then Kenneth Walker III. I was pretty excited about his potential with Clint Kubiak's system, but instead they're going back to a handcuff with Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet had 2 touchdowns in their late night win last night against the Texans, and now we don't know how much he'll be used on a weekly basis. But now, in terms of wide receivers, Nico Collins and Marvin Harrison Jr. both, I'm stunned that they rank outside the top 30 at wide receivers, but it's been hard with how bad the Texans offensive line has been, and they're the Cardinals. It's just basically coaching malpractice, not getting the ball to their to their most dynamic playmakers. So other than Trey McBride, of course, but the Cardinals. But that's a big reason why the Cardinals are 2-5, because of Marvin Harrison Jr.'s lackluster numbers. And then Evan Ingram and Brock Bowers have been disappointing to me. They were both tremendous last year. Brock Bowers having a historic season among tight ends, but he's ranked he has the 30th most fantasy points among tight ends this season. And then Evan Ingram, I was excited about him, and I like and traditionally Sean Payton offenses go towards tight ends. I mean, you think of Jimmy Graham as an example in New Orleans. You think of Jawan Johnson recently, but not as much this year. So Evan Ingram has been a huge disappointment for me in fantasy this year.
Very interesting list right there. I especially agree with Derrick Henry and Evan Ingram and Brock Bowers. I mean, they were pretty darn good last year, but not so much this year so far. So hopefully maybe they can get things turned around in the second half of the season. Now we're going to go to our man Natale. He gave us his list of surprises and disappointments. So we'll start with Natale's list of surprises, and go ahead.
Yeah, the very first person I decided to add, Daniel Jones. Where did this man come from? I knew the talent was there all along. He just needs an offensive line to protect him. Giants' offensive line in all his years was abysmal. He was getting sacked like crazy. But now that there's a more competent O-line in the Colts, Daniel Jones is actually having a solid season. And yeah, he's right as of right now, if the season were to end today, Daniel Jones would be my pick for Comeback Player of the Year award. Easily. Yeah. Where was this Daniel Jones when he was with the Giants? Definitely can't blame this on Daniel Jones. But This.
I mean, we saw glimpses in his rookie year under Pat Shurmur. I thought Shurmur did a fine job with developing him during during his rookie year, but then Shurmur couldn't coach his way out of paper bag, and then Joe Judge came in and Jason Garrett, and he got hurt in 2020, 21. And then you thought maybe again with the resurgence with being healthy for a whole year with Dable, and then 2 years, then he has the neck injury, then he tears the ACL, which means he couldn't get to peak performance at all last year because it takes 18 to 24 months really to get to perform peak performance after an ACL tear, and the Colts took advantage. We didn't see the logic based on Chris Ballard's record of utility with the Colts, but now it looks like the Colts. He's leading what's one of the best teams in football.
Yeah, and look, and he's having a solid season on the ground. Yeah, I mean, at times the Giants covering Giants linemen were so bad that Jones was forced to run, and him running with the Giants wasn't horrible, but he's looking very good here as a runner too. So yeah, right now he's my pick for Comeback Player of the Year award. And then I'm agreeing with Flynn on Jackson Dart. Ever since he came in, he's been phenomenal. He's been, I believe he's surpassed his projection in every game so far this season, I believe. And yeah, right now, although he may be QB 22, he's definitely playing better than a QB 22 right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the only quarterbacks that have scored more fantasy points in the last 4 weeks than Jackson Dart are Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, and Patrick Mahomes.
Ah, nice. And then Cam Scatterbo. When Tyrone Tracy went down with that injury, Cam Scatterbo stepped in, made an immediate impact. And look how far he jumped. Right now, he's the running back 8, and he's poised for more. And this one is probably a bit of an unconventional pick, but I went with Jordan Mason on here. Although he's RB 27, I think he's extremely underrated. Ever since he took over for Aaron Jones, he's been very solid. The Vikings aren't that great on paper right now, but yeah, Mason has stepped in very nicely. And let's see. Oh, I forgot to say an honorable mention I had for a quarterback that I did not put in, Baker Mayfield. I was thinking about putting him in. He was my honorable mention. And let's see. On here, I put Keenan Allen. I honestly thought he had nothing left, but so far he's proven me wrong. He's having a pretty good, solid season. Look at that. He's the wide receiver 7 right now. A lot of injuries. I thought his age was going to catch up to him, but he's showing he still has what it takes.
Yeah, bag it, Shane Waldron.
Sure. And then I went with Emeka Ibuka. I'm a firm. I love the rookies. I love this season's rookie class for the most part. Yeah, he's been ever since Mike Evans and Chris Godwin went down. He's been Mayfield's number 1 target, and it appears he's going to stay that way for now. Right when Evans came back from injury, he got injured again, and he's going to be out for multiple weeks. And who knows what's going on with Chris Godwin these days? Pretty much the only legitimate threat right now to Ibuka not getting as many targets would be Cade Otton, but I think Ibuka's going to be just fine. I'm actually surprised he even played this week. I thought for sure he was going to miss time, but evidently he made out okay.
Yeah, deemed our discussion of Cam Johnson, Tej Johnson, Sterling Shepard, deemed that conversation irrelevant with him being able to play last night.
Yep. And then basically, I categorized Zach Ertz the same way as Keenan Allen. I thought Father Time was going to catch up to them with all their injuries, but Zach Ertz still actually has a lot in the tank left. He's a tight end 9 right now, but I think he's poised to go up higher. The tight ends you'd expect it to do well are not. I have a couple of tight ends on that list that we'll get to in a second. And Tyler Warren, he's actually having a very solid rookie season. Right now, he's definitely up there in Daniel Jones's favorite target list. Yeah, I thought for sure that Michael Pittman or Josh Downs were going to get a bulk of the work, but apparently Tyler Warren is getting some work in, and he even has a rushing touchdown. You definitely don't see that every day from tight ends.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think Trey McBride got a rushing touchdown last season. So yeah, maybe this is the year that tight ends will start getting touchdowns on the ground. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I shared something in our group chat that yesterday. It said the start this rookie class is having on offense is anything we haven't seen, stuff we haven't seen before, and this includes the rookie class from last year, which we all touted so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think of you think of Scatterboo, Dart. You're thinking Quinshawn Junkins. You're thinking Ashton Genty. You're thinking Emeka Ibuka. Yeah, this rookie class has been superb so far.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. Let's take a look at the disappointments for Natale here.
Yeah, this one there was a couple of difficult decisions here, but yeah. Geno Smith was actually the first one that came to my mind, just for having the most interceptions alone. That pretty much clinched it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the Raiders are bad, but I didn't think Geno Smith was going to be this bad. I mean, he wasn't really the first name that came to my mind for who would have the most interceptions. But I'm not sure who I would name off the top of my head, but he wasn't the first one that came to my mind. I mean, he might be on the verge of getting benched. We'll see. And then next one, I put Justin Fields. It was pretty obvious. And the Jets are abysmal. They're basically a dumpster fire at this point. Even a college team could probably beat them at this rate. And then my next pick here, Derrick Henry. I think Father Time is catching up to him. He's not the same player he once was. He's not getting involved in the passing game anymore. He used to get at least 2 or 3 catches like every game, but that barely happens now. He's lucky if he gets one a game, but even now he's not even averaging 1. Basically, probably maybe one game he'll have 1 catch, then 0 catches, then 1 catch, then 0 catches. Yeah, I'm willing to give him maybe the benefit of the doubt with the Lamar Jackson injury, but who knows? I was tempted to put Lamar Jackson in my disappointment list, but I couldn't do it because he didn't play a full season. And my running back disappointment, this was my first choice here, Breece Hall. I think it was blatantly obvious. He doesn't have a single touchdown. He had his chance to get involved in the passing game last week with Garrett Wilson being injured, but nope, he didn't do a damn thing in the air. I think he got 1 catch, maybe 2. Yeah, you would think he'd be one of the primary targets, considering that Garrett Wilson was out, but nope.
Yeah.
That was completely. I can't say it was his fault too much. I think it was definitely the head coaching issue there.
Aaron Glenn said during training camp that he was going to try to incorporate the other running backs into the game more. Which look, I do understand. I do get that logic. So which should have been a warning sign about Breece Hall this season.
Oh yeah. And it's absolutely shocking he doesn't have a single touchdown this season. I mean, I get it. The Jets are bad, but you'd expect at least him to get a touchdown. I'm not even sure if their running back has a touchdown. I think Braylon Allen doesn't Braylon Allen have a touchdown?
I think he does. But also to think who the quarterback is. He's a running quarterback.
Yeah, true. And then on the wide receiver side, I'm with you on Marvin Harrison Jr. His second year, I was expecting it to be much better, but apparently right now it's just more of the same. And I mean, for the most part, they're going to Trey McBride, but at worst, you'd expect Marvin Harrison to be the number 2 receiver, but that doesn't seem to be happening either. It seems like they're involving Zay Jones a lot more.
See, I mean, especially considering the Cardinals invested the 4th overall pick in the draft in 2024 for his services. Yeah, you think you would get more for the price you paid.
Oh yeah. And then my second wide receiver disappointment, I have to put Xavier Worthy here. Since when Rashid Rice got suspended the first 6 games, Xavier Worthy was named the number 1 wide receiver. You expect him to get a bulk of the work, but nope. Okay, I get it. He went down game 1. Sure. He still had 5 games to make an impact.
Right.
And he failed miserably. So that's why he's number 1. That's why he's wide receiver 60 right now. And he fail.
he did not play weeks 2 and 3.
Oh,
So
sorry.
yes,
Stand
yes. So
corrected.
he came back from injury week 4, but
Yeah, okay, yeah. I
so
stand corrected on that.
although the one thing I will say about that
Mhm.
is that the Chiefs' offense started to click when he came back from injury. That the first game he came back, he said that the Chiefs' offense lit up Baltimore because the Ravens had to put some attention onto the speedy Xavier Worthy. Remember, as
Yeah.
Worthy had the fastest 40-yard dash time for a wide receiver ever at the scouting combine. Yeah,
True.
Xavier Worthy's impact is more beyond the stat sheet. But yeah, you're right. In terms of a fantasy perspective, I can't say I'm surprised with that. I did not think he was worth a top 60 pick in the fantasy draft, and now you look at his results, and even if you take out the 3 weeks he's been hurt, he's still underperforming his potential.
Yeah, and now with Rashid Rice back in the fold, it looks like his stock is going to go down even further.
Yeah, and I had to drop Hollywood Brown in one of my other leagues as a result. I mean, his situation's even worse.
True.
Right.
And then on the tight end disappointment side, I had to go with T.J. Hawkinson here. With Jordan Addison being suspended the first 3 games of the season, you expect T.J. Hawkinson to make an impact as the number 2 receiver. He did well his first game, the very first game of the season. He got a touchdown, but since then he's been a complete disappointment. He's only averaging about maybe 2 or 3 catches every other game since. And now with Addison back in the fold, Hawkinson's basically a thing of the past now. He's basically like a ghost. He's lucky if he gets a couple catches a game now. That's why he's down to tight end 21.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens when J.J. McCarthy is healthy again. Maybe that could be that has been the factor behind his underachievement.
Yeah, that is true. We'll see what happens there. I'm gonna hold him now for fantasy purposes. I'm still gonna leave him on my bench as my backup, but we'll see. And then Brock Bowers, yeah, he's having a sophomore slump here. He's been a big disappointment here. Yeah, as you see on this note, yeah, he's only had he doesn't have any touchdowns. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
No touchdowns so far.
Yeah, but then again, you also have an incompetent quarterback here.
Right.
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt to some degree, but I would have expected him to do a lot better. Because they don't really have too much talent on the receiver front either. Granted, you have Jacoby Myers, but you would expect Brock Bowers to at least be your number 2 here. But,
and I mean, Jacoby Myers. I mean, one of the worst kept secrets around the NFL right now is that the Raiders could move Jacoby Myers before the trade deadline coming up in 2 weeks.
That is interesting there. But yeah, tight end 30. That was what do you think? What did he finish? Tight end number 2 or 3 last season in his rookie year?
No, he was number 1 last year. He had a historic rookie season, and he was the best tight end in football last year.
Yeah, look where he fell. Out of all, basically, if you go to 32 tight ends, he's at the bottom. He's in the bottom 3.
It's hard to say though, because you might have systems like, for example, Pittsburgh. They have Jonnu Smith and Pat Fryermuth, a 2 tight end system. Now, the trade for Jonnu Smith sunk the fantasy value of both Smith and Fryermuth because two tight end packages don't generate fantasy success for either tight end. So of course I couldn't touch Fryermuth or Jonnu Smith unless you're desperate for a tight end that you need. Like for example, this week with Sam Laporta and leading the way among tight ends, Sam Laporta and Trey McBride by, you might have in a deep league, you might need someone like Pat Fryermuth.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's my list. All right, so Tim, your turn.
Yep, it is my turn to share my surprises, my disappointments. I'm going to start with my surprises right here, and starting with the picks for my 2 quarterbacks. Yes, I agree with Daniel Jones. I mean, as Natale said, where was this Daniel Jones in New York? It was just a bad offensive line. It was bad management. But he's gone to a better system now. I mean, as you can see on the screen here, 71% completion percentage, which is definitely not too shabby. Uh, he's got 14 total touchdowns, 10 passing, and 4 rushing. He's number 5 on the fantasy list for quarterbacks. And he's got a pretty complete team right there, a team that could definitely take a good run into the AFC playoffs. And so could Drake May. It seems like every single week I'm watching the highlights and I'm surprised at how Drake May is helping this defense in New England get back to where they are. Now, am I thinking that New England is going to take the AFC East? Maybe not. I mean, right now, Buffalo is still the top team in that division. But
I mean, the Patriots are 5-2, and the Bills are 4-2, and the Patriots have already beaten Buffalo this season. So the Patriots would have the tiebreaker if a situation like that unfolds right now.
Wouldn't that be something if at the end of the year the Patriots are AFC East champions again? That would just be mind blown.
I mean, the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots are going to make the playoffs. Let's make sure we get that because 5-2 in this expanded system usually means that your team is going to make the playoffs. So
there you go. All right, 2 running back surprises. I'm sticking with the Colts and Jonathan Taylor had a down season last year. He's looking pretty good this year, as you can see. He is the 2nd-ranked running back in fantasy. Leads the NFL with 697 rushing yards. Doing very well. He's like 5.3 yards a carry, which is if you did that every time, it's a first down every 2 tries. Got 10 rushing touchdowns on the ground. 185 yards through the air and 1 receiving touchdown. I mean, 25.6 fantasy points per game cannot be wrong. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is having a great bounce back year. I'm very impressed with what he's doing, helping out that Colts team. But I am actually more surprised about Javonte Williams. I mean, I think this guy came out of Denver, and the Cowboys' running game has been pretty much dead in the water for the last year and a year and a half. But I am totally amazed at what this guy has done. He's ranked number 6 among running backs in fantasy. He's carried the ball 111 times for 592 yards. He's 2nd in the NFL. He is definitely on his way to a 1,000-yard season. And he's not doing too bad in the receiving area. 12 receptions for 85 yards, 1 touchdown. And 18.7 fantasy points. That's nothing to sneeze at. So I'm so happy to see that the Cowboys are really getting that running game back up and going again. It has been disappeared for much too long. Now, as far as my wideouts, Emeka Egbuka from Tampa Bay.
yes, there we go. We got the pronunciation correct this time.
Finally, we got it, Rick. I've been working on it. But anyway, this young rookie has really been a surprise, not only in the NFC, but pretty much in the whole league. He's number 6 receiver in fantasy so far. 31 receptions for 527 yards and 5 TDs. Like that, 10 receptions of 20 yards or more, which definitely covers some ground there. If you're going deep, that's a pretty deep guy right there. And averaging 16.7 points per game in PPR leagues like the one we're in. So he's not too. This guy is. He's got a great future ahead of him. He could be one of the future stars in that franchise right there. And what about George Pickens? Cowboys got him in a trade from the Steelers before the season began. And I thought he'd work in mighty well. Well, in CeeDee Lamb's absence, he has done quite well. 36 receptions, 607 yards, He has 12 receptions of more than 20 yards. He's fourth on the list of wide receivers in fantasy. But what really gets me that not only is he making these catches, but how he's making these catches. I mean, this guy, he is like an acrobat or something. I mean, the way he catches these balls, like on the sidelines, I mean, you'd have to check the replays to see if he had both feet in bounds, and they are 9 times out of 10. I mean, he is a talented guy. I think those Steelers might be kicking themselves for letting Pickens go, but he is definitely a big surprise this year. Now, for my tight ends, I agree about Tyler Warren, part of that big Colts team that is having such a successful year. Third ranked tight end in fantasy so far. He's been targeted 45 times, got 33 receptions, 439 yards, 3 touchdowns, got 1 rushing touchdown, scoring a modest 14.5 fantasy points per game, which definitely is very impressive. And if he holds on to that streak there, keep it steady, and I think he'll be all right. And I agree with Jake Ferguson. I mean, this could probably be the best season of Jake Ferguson's career so far. 51 receptions, 6 touchdowns, both first among tight ends in the league. Targeted 58 times. And he has 344 receiving yards. And he is right now the top tight end in fantasy. Ferguson is just going to go higher and higher and higher. As I said, he's probably going to have the best season of his career. I am very, very, very impressed with Jake Ferguson's numbers so far this season. Now, we go from my surprises to my disappointments here. Go ahead and pop those on the screen. Okay, we'll remove that. Here's my my disappointments now. And I agree, Geno Smith. You saw the numbers right there. 7 touchdowns, he's got tied with 10 interceptions, most in the NFL, tied for the most in the NFL, and only 12 fantasy points per game. I think he didn't. I don't know how well he did. I can't remember how well he did when he played with the Jets. He's been with a couple of teams in the last 10 or 15 years. I don't think he can handle it alone. He definitely needs a lot of help from the offensive line and some of his receivers here. CJ Stroud for the Texans. That's a big disappointment. Last couple of years, Stroud has been very good with his team, but he's got 9 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. Has a 64.8 completion rate. Not too good, but not too bad. His numbers have gone down a little bit this year. So,
and I mean, you think that kicking Bobby Slowick out of Houston, who was a dreadful play caller, as an offensive coordinator, said that they bring in someone from the McVay tree, and the improvements haven't been there, maybe because of how awful the offensive line has been without Laramie Tunsil. Yeah, Laramie Tunsil not being there is a gigantic deal when you look at it for the Houston Texans. It's a terrible job by Nick Caserio on how they maneuver the offseason. I mean, not getting enough for the with the Giants and the trade where the Giants moved up and drafted Jackson Dart. That was a terrible job by them. Not getting more, and not being able to get a first round pick from the Giants. That was a bad job by them. Not getting enough back for Laramie Tunsil. That was bad among itself. So I mean, so you have to maybe think about changes in Houston. And the scary thing is about that one of the first decisions that if they do hire a GM head coach next year, is what are they going to do with C.J. Stroud's 5th-year option?
Right. So Stroud's having a struggle there as well as the Texans in that division. It looks like it'll probably be most likely Indianapolis taking that one. For my running backs, Saquon Barkley. Now, he's still pretty good, but not as good as we usually see him play. I mean, he's only averaging 3.3 yards per 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 that's yards per rush, isn't it?
Yep, yards per
3.4
carry,
yards per
correct.
carry. Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah. That kind of gives me a little cause to pause right there because he usually breaks through pretty good with only. He only right now has 369 receiving yards, and we're already going into week 8 of the NFL season. He does have 20 receptions for 135 yards and a touchdown, but only ranked 13.5 points per game, and he's the 14th ranked running back in fantasy right now. Not the Barkley that we were used to seeing. I mean, he's still producing, but kind of low numbers in my opinion. Also, Alvin Kamara. I think he's getting up there in age a little bit. He got 324 rushing yards, only 3.6 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, which is back in week 1. Has scored a touchdown since then. He's only averaging 10.8 fantasy points per game. Running game is just almost non-existent. I mean, I don't really see anyone outside of Kamara, but his numbers are kind of down that bench, which is a little bit disappointing because Alvin was he was amazing, especially in that game against the Cowboys a couple of years ago. He just single-handedly broke through our defensive line, broke through the defensive line, broke through the linebackers, broke through the secondary. He tore us up a couple of years ago, but now he's getting torn up. Now, as far as my wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., 32nd ranked wide receiver in fantasy, only 11 fantasy points per game. Got 27 targets 27 receptions off of 55 targets for only 365 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. He's got a rushing touchdown. I was hoping he could have a little bit of a better year this year, but see what happens here. Oh, I gotta get this here. My throat's a little bit rough here. Sorry about that, folks. Probably my biggest disappointment for wide receivers, Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
His last couple of years with the LA Rams, I thought those were some of his best years. I thought he'd be amazing. I thought he could be able to help the Seahawks receiving game. But he's got 24 receptions from 33 targets, only 293 yards, only 1 touchdown. He's only averaging 8.3 fantasy points per game. And he at one time he was like a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy. He's now ranked 44. That is wow.
Yep.
That is a huge drop right there, and I guess I don't know. Like I said, his best years was probably with Los Angeles with the Rams, but he's kind of been a disappointment for me. Now for my tight ends, I'm kind of going with Pat Freiermuth from the Steelers. He's the 29th ranked tight end in fantasy right now, only 7.3 points per game. He's only gotten 2 touchdowns from 13 receptions and 187 yards, with targeted 17 times. Yeah, he's had better seasons. Last couple of years were kind of better at this time, but it seems like his numbers are down. And actually ranked right behind him at number 30 on the tight ends. I agree with you on Brock Bowers. This guy was like my second choice for Offensive Rookie of the Year last season. This year, like I said, like we saw before, 4 games, only 27 targets, 19 receptions, 225 yards, only 10.9 fantasy points per game. Kind of going through a what they call the sophomore slump,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I'm kind of hoping they can kind of work him back into the system. Yeah, I know they got what, Pete Carroll now as the head coach. Uh, Pete Carroll, he's a proven champion.
Mm-hmm.
He's a proven winner, proven coach. But I guess some things are just not clicking on all 6 cylinders.
Right.
But anyway, that's our list of disappointments and surprises for the 2025 fantasy season so far. And I must say, these were very, very interesting lists, I may say.
Mm.
Very interesting. We have I think we have some guys here with some questions here. We have this viewer here, Dallas Slave. He says, should I trade Terry for JCM? If not, I have to start a Kyle Mon guy.
I think he's talking about Kyle Morinagi, who's suddenly finding himself a role in Ben Johnson's offense in Chicago.
Or from this week, since Ashton Jeanty and Jameer Gibbs are on the bye.
I'm trying to figure who's JCM.
That would be Jason Krosky Merritt.
Hmm.
The young guy for the Commanders, I think.
Yeah. I don't hate it, but I don't know. I would say check that waiver wire first.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but it's not the most flashy either.
No. Yeah, I agree. It looks ugly. So.
Yeah, at this point you might have no other choice because you got some hands on the buy there. Yeah, you might have to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for your question there. We have it's B Squad for life. Where does Jay Myers traded to, and will he be at least a flex option in a full PPR league?
I am hearing rumors about the Giants. I wouldn't rule them out.
Yeah, but I think those rumors would have been taken more seriously had the Giants won in Denver last week, where the Giants would have been right there in the thick of the playoff race. But so I really don't see the Giants trading a high pick in their one of their own picks to get Myers. So. But yeah, although the one place where I could see where I could see someone like Jacoby Myers to go in a potential trade, I could see him being a possibility is Seattle, to have someone play opposite Jackson Smith and Jigba. I could see that as a possibility. I could see a team like the Chargers try and double in, although I think the cost of being in the same division could derail a potential trade between the two sides.
Yeah, but no, I think no matter where he goes, I think he would be a solid flex option.
Yeah, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. At least that's what I'm thinking right there. So, but I know what I'm not thinking. I don't think anybody's going to be taking Justin Tucker anymore.
Oh yeah, true.
With all that baggage he's got.
Yeah.
So.
I think he's got to wait till week 10. I think anyway.
Yeah, you may have to do that. So. But anyway, I think it's time to test our brains right now
Yep.
because guess what time it is? It is
Trivia
trivia
time.
time.
Yeah, I know Flynn and I have one. Do you have one too, Tim?
Actually, I came up with my question during the early part of our show
Oh, nice.
when we were talking about that kicker from the Giants that was released.
Uh-huh.
I kind of came up with a question, kind of related to that.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have the same question. My mind's kind of
Oh,
related to that too.
oh,
I mean, so in the meantime, my question is in the banners, so I'll pull that one up while we receive that. So my trivia question is: so name the 4 running backs with 5 rushes of 20 yards or more this season. There are
Hmm.
4 of them. Nobody has more than 5. 4 lead the way with 5 each.
Okay.
running backs lead the way.
Hmm.
4 running backs with 5 rushes of 20 or more yards this season.
Oh, yeah, I think I know one right out of the gate, but we'll wait on that though.
I think I have one. I mean, coming up with 4, that's an interesting challenge. Very interesting. Okay, so Natale, your question
Yeah.
is
Yeah, mine was going to be a kind of like a flip flop. I mean, this was my bus shape. Well, you guys don't know how Jude McAdamy missed 2 extra points. My original question, when I looked up my original question, I thought it was going to be too easy because I thought you were going to know it for sure, Tim. Because yeah, my original question was which NFL kicker holds the record for most mixed extra points in a single game? I'm sure you might know that one. It's bad memories for you for 2023. You probably remember Brett Maher, right?
yeah, Brett Maher. He was I think he was a guy that played in Europe or something, or
Yeah, I think so. He was with the Cowboys in 2023. He
yeah,
missed
2023. I remember
yeah.
him.
Yeah, he missed 4 extra points in a single game, which was the record. That was going to be my question, but I scrapped it thinking you would know it right away. Since you're a Cowboys fan, you might have bad memories of him.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. So I decided to flip it slightly. It's going to be, I think saying the name of this person is going to be too hard. So I'm just going to ask for the team this time. So which team holds the record for the most missed field goals in a single game? I'm not going to ask for the name because I think that's going to be too hard because this player was from way, way back before all of us were even born.
Oh,
So this is even
oh.
before you were born, Tim. So I highly
So
doubt you're going to get the. So I don't think
the
any of us is
team
going to get the name. I'm just going to ask for the team that this person was on.
we're asking for the team with the most missed
Missed field goals in a single game.
field goals in a single game. Okay.
Yes.
Most missed field goals in a single game. Okay.
Yeah. This is
I
from
got
way back
that.
when. The name. I think the name is impossible because it was from all before all of us were even born.
Alrighty then. So my question has to do with kickers and field goals, but it's
Mm-hmm.
slightly different.
Okay.
My question is, which kicker holds the record for the most consecutive games with at least one missed field goal?
Oh, okay. Missed field goal. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's something to think about, something to mull over. Oh, our friend has a question here. Our favorite Bengals fan. Dashy says Joe Flacco beat the Steelers last week on Thursday Night Football. Name the other starting quarterback who beat the Steelers in 1998 in Cincinnati that led the game-winning scoring drive.
Ah,
1998.
yeah. Yeah, I don't remember that quarterback's name off the top of my head. It sounds familiar.
I'm sure it would have to be a Bengal.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's his question. So, with that being said, we'll think about the answers to those questions. as we now get ready to make our picks for Week 8. And as I pick the picks up right here, yes, Dashy, yeah, I'm way ahead of you, Dashy. I've got I've got the teams right here that are on the bye this week. 6 of them to be exact. That would be the Detroit Lions, Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hmm.
So a lot of fantasy talent taking the week off. So some of y'all might have to go through some of the waiver wires and maybe conduct some trades. So if you have any players for the Lions, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Jaguars, bench them if you can, or drop them if you must. But those players won't do you any good this week. Anyway, let's go ahead and go into our picks here, starting with the Thursday night football game, which be a very interesting matchup here. We have the Minnesota Vikings headed to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. And according to the spreads here, the Chargers are picked by 3 points. So, what are you guys thinking on this particular matchup?
Yeah, I think this one was honestly the most difficult one for me to decide. And yeah, usually the Thursday night ones are usually fairly easy to pick. But honestly, this one I could see this one go either way. Yeah, both teams are a little bit all over the place right now. Everybody's kind of iffy here. Yeah, we don't know who's going to start for the Vikings just yet. This was kind of one of those games where I call like a coin flip kind of game. It's one of those like when in doubt, pick the home team. I'm going to go with the Chargers here, just by a modest score of 24-20.
So I kind of feel the same way too. I'm just gonna pull up my scores for that because I had them down somewhere. But yeah, I'm picking the Chargers this week. I think it's just a tough task for the Vikings having to go on the road on a short week while not knowing who's going to be the quarterback for your team, and it's definitely a tall order there. So I think the Chargers are going to come out angry after how they got their butts kicked at home against Indianapolis. So I just think that with both of those things in mind, yeah, I think it's gonna be a great thing for that. Now, I think you have to start Orlando Gadsden this week because he went off against Indianapolis last week. He had 6 catches, 156 yards, and a touchdown on that. So I think you're looking at that. I think with the Chargers being banged up at the running back position, I think Kamani Vidal is gonna go off this week with Hassan Haskins downfall. So I think those are 2 cats that you're gonna need. You're gonna need to both pick up and put in your fantasy lineups because of how many teams are on the bye this week. So with that in mind, give me the Chargers. I have them winning this game. Let me just check out the final score for this. I thought I put 27-21, but let me just double check before I before I make it official here. So let's see here. Yeah, and I actually also have 24-20 Chargers over the Vikings.
Ooh, how about that? Well, guys, I'm going to make this unanimous. Like Natale said, this could go either way. I think they're kind of equally matched here. Of course, Minnesota, they're still going to start Carson Wentz, and every time they do it, it makes me wince a little bit, if you know what I mean. This is difficult, but like Natale said, you just go with the home team. So I'm going to make it unanimous. I'm going Chargers over the Vikings 26-21. So we're all in agreement there. That's the Thursday night game. Now we go to the Sunday games. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you said 7 1 o'clock games, which is a pretty good number. Starting in Atlanta, where the Falcons are going to be home against the woeful Miami Dolphins. The Falcons are 7-point favorites, which I think may be a little too low.
Yeah, pretty much. The Dolphin season is spiraling out of control. Yeah, how is Mike McDaniel not fired yet? How is the
How is
GM not?
Chris Greer not fired
Yep.
yet?
Yeah, him too. Yeah, it's a whole dumpster fire. And yeah, now you just lost Darren Waller, who was solid for his first couple games. I mean, the Falcons have their share of issues too, but nowhere near as much as the Dolphins.
Right.
Never thought I would use these words with the Falcons, but the Falcons is my lock of the week for this game.
Pull it up, Timmy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's pull it up.
Yeah, I almost didn't have one. I mean the Dolphins collapsing so bad made me want to say, yeah, why not? I'm going to take a flyer on the Falcons. Never thought I would imagine Falcons and lock of the week being in the same sentence. Give me the Falcons to win this one 28-18.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on here because you don't need to do that lock of the week grab it for me because I'm sharing it with Natale. But yeah, I believe I believe that's actually not the highest differential I have for any game this week. So. But regardless, the Dolphins are atrocious. They're dead. Everybody knows it. Give me the Falcons to win 21-10. But I do think Devon Achane, you obviously start him, but I would keep my eye though on Kyle Pitts because I think he's got a favorable matchup this week. So if you have someone on the bye, I think you someone you could put into your lineup lineup over there. But of course, Bijan Robinson, I think it is the best bet of the entire week to go off. So he a favorable matchup, the best running back in the NFL, one of them. So that's my fantasy outlook for this game.
Yeah, I agree here. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Falcons myself. Bijan Robinson, he's doing great. He's still like in the top 5 running backs, I think, so far this season. And like I said, 7 points is just a little bit gracious or anything like that. But I think they'll put up 10 points more than the Dolphins. So give me the Falcons over the Dolphins by a score of 30-20. And if those two guys are not fired after this next game here, then Stephen Ross is just about suffering as much dementia as Jerry Jones.
Oh yeah.
I hate to say that, but it's true. Very interesting matchup in Baltimore. The Ravens are at home against the Bears, and the Ravens are picked by 6.5 in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, yeah. With this one, I'm actually tempted to grab the points here with the Bears. Yeah, we don't know for certainty yet if Lamar Jackson is going to be playing. If he is, then there is a possibility that can flip, and I would have them win and cover. On the flip side, you have Roquan Smith coming back from the defense. There's a possibility that he's going to play, but because we don't know about the Lamar Jackson situation right now, I have to play it safe. As much as I want to pick the Bears here, I just can't quite do it. I think the Ravens are just a hair better than the Bears. I'm going to grab the Bears with the points, but I'm going to take the the Ravens to win this one, and I'll go 26-23.
Yeah, I mean Kyle Molinagi might be one of the starts of the week in fantasy this week because based upon what he was able to do in limited touches against the Saints. He had 13 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown, which had him a top 10 finish last week among running back. So yeah, he's going to be the popular fantasy pickup this week because of what you mentioned with the buys and all that. And the Ravens defense has been dreadful against the run this year. So I mean it'll help that Roquan Smith comes back, but it doesn't help that the other guys aren't back. So yeah, and the Bears they've actually been pretty consistent. Putting up 20 plus points in games with Ben Johnson this year. In fact, I think they're the only team in the league that has put up 20 or more fantasy points in each of their first in every game so far this season. So I think you have that advantage. So I actually think coaching advantage goes to the Bears here, but I do think Lamar Jackson's going to come back, and I think it's going to be a terrific game. But give me the Ravens to win by a score of 27-26.
Okay, you got them covering also.
Oh, you got a squeaker right there here. I'm going to it's going to be interesting to see Lamar Jackson back. I was just taking a look at some news headlines here about Lamar Jackson. They say he's going to come back, so I'll say he comes back. I think I could take the points with the Bears on this one as well, even though I'm not going to make it a squeaker, as Flynn would put it. But I will take the Ravens over the Bears. Give me a score of 26-21. I'll take the Ravens with the win, but I'll take the Bears with the points. Because I think the Bears are really starting to be pretty good. They're really still good, warmed up so far right now. Meanwhile, we have the Buffalo Bills heading into Carolina to take on the Panthers, and the Bills are 7-point favorites in that one. I'm not. I mean, the Bills, they have their issues, but they're still a solid team. Carolina could be interesting. I mean, Carolina did beat my Cowboys a couple of weeks ago. They're kind of. I mean, they're not flashy, but they don't really have a lot of substance either. Kind of a mediocre, maybe. I don't know. I'm just going ahead and I'm just going to give it the game. I'm going to take Buffalo to win and cover. Let's see here. Let's call it Buffalo. They usually score up in the high 20s or the low 30s. Give me Buffalo over. Give me Buffalo over Carolina 30-23. Buffalo to win. Oh, Buffalo. Wait a minute. No,
That's exactly 7.
Yeah, that's exactly 7. But I'm taking Buffalo straight up.
Okay. My score is very similar to yours. I got 31-23.
Ah, interesting here.
I'm actually in alignment with you on this being the highest scoring game because I think you have great matchups for Rico Dowdle, great matchup for James Cook, great matchup for Tim McClelland against the Bills defense that has not been great this year. Let's be honest here, but I just think at the end of the day it's Josh Allen against presumably Andy Dalton, and I just don't think that's going to be a fair fight. And also remember, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane both used to work in the Panthers organization before the Bills plucked them from Carolina for all those years back. Sean McDermott was the defensive coordinator for the Panthers when they went to the Super Bowl, and Brandon Beane was the assistant general manager to Dave Gettleman at the time. So give me the Bills to win 34-24 with the victory over Carolina.
All right, at the end. Now we're going to go to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
The
This
Bengals.
one, I think I already know where this is going. I think this one. You know what you need to play on this one.
Oh yeah, I think I got it right now.
At least that's mine. I wasn't trying to speak for both of you,
Right.
but I think it appears I think we're all on the same wavelength on this one. I'm assuming so, at least. But yeah, this one we're looking at the battle of the backup quarterbacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor against the Bengals are so bad. I forgot the backup QB's name. So, but yet, as bad as both of these teams as bad as both of these teams are, I actually this is my point spread game of the week. As
Really.
bad as things are, yeah. I think this is going to be a pretty low scoring affair here. I have the Bengals actually winning this one. Jets are going to fall to 0-8. I'm going to just go by a 1 point game here. 21 for the Bengals, 20 for the Jets.
Well, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I do like the Bengals as well. But I think make sure Chase Brown is in your lineup. Jamar Chase is in your lineup. I think we're looking at you, David. Sorry, Natale had to put that out there because you're chasing him for that last playoff spot right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, in terms of the Jets, I mean, we still don't know what's going to happen with Garrett Wilson, and the Jets' offense will look pathetic without him against the Panthers. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win and cover 27-17 over the Jets.
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing. I mean, if there's a dumpster fire that's worse than Miami, it's definitely the Jets. Man, and kind of weird that the owner of the Jets. That was Woody Johnson. He uh, he was supporting Aaron Glenn, but he is just spitting nails over Justin Fields. So there's just discombobulation there. But I'm going to say, give me the Bengals to win and cover, even though it's going to be uh, who's starting for the Bengals?
Oh,
It's a
Jackson
joke,
something Browning, I think.
Jake Browning.
Jake Browning.
Right, Browning.
Jake
Yes.
Browning. Uh, yeah, it's pretty bad right there. So give me the Bengals to win and cover. Let's say 23. Let's say 23-13. Bengals to win and cover. This next game here, we're going to Houston. The Texans are at home against the 49ers. The Niners are 1.5 point favorites. Uh, I'll tell you what, whatever John Lynch and those guys are doing, I mean, they're geniuses. I mean, they have got almost the entire half, like maybe half of the entire roster of the 49ers on the injured list, but somehow this team keeps winning.
Yeah, exactly. They have this next man up mentality, and it seems to be working. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it, but if they keep this up, this guy is a strong candidate for coach of the year. Yeah,
Cal Shanahan for coach of the year, and maybe John
yeah,
Lynch for executive of the year.
yeah. Very, very possible if they keep this up the way it's looking. I think they just might do it. I mean, even though this division is the hardest to predict, it could go either way. But as far as this game goes, I got to give it to the Niners. The Texans are a bit of a mess right now, and Nico Collins isn't really doing much of anything. CJ Stroud's having a down year. So yeah, give me the Niners to win this one and cover. I'm going to go 30-21.
Okay, I'm going to take the 49ers myself. Houston's having a rough time right now. They're going to even have a rough time with the 49ers here. Give me the Niners over the Texans by a score of 27-14.
I'm taking the Houston Texans to win the ball game. Look,
Mm.
I think the Texans have matchups in this game because I think you're looking at the 49ers situation. The Texans have a strong defense, which I know the Seattle game kind of convoluted things a little bit based upon their play, but. But to the Texans' credit, they kept fighting. They gave themselves opportunities to win the game. They didn't take advantage of it, but it was clear that they were able to apply some pressure onto Seattle in the fourth quarter. So I think that's gonna transfer over. I don't like Brock Purdy this week or whoever's starting for the 49ers. And their receivers against Houston's corners, that's a big advantage for the Texans. Linebacker play, I think, favors the Texans. So yeah, I'm picking the Houston Texans to win the game. I don't think it's over yet in Houston, but I think they're going to beat the Niners on Sunday by a score of 24-21.
Mm.
Oh, interesting here. Oh, we had a correction from a Dashy. I forgot Joe Flacco is now with the Bengals. He was just released by the Browns, so they got Flacco starting for Cincinnati.
Ah,
Forgot about that. Thanks for that, Dashy. I mean, totally forgot about Flacco going to the Bengals here, being released by the Browns. Well, speaking of the Browns, this is the next game on the list here. They're going to New England to take on the Patriots, and the Patriots are home favorites at 7 points. Um, that Cleveland game last week, that was unbelievable.
oh yeah, yeah. They did a very demolishing. They demolished the Dolphins on that one. The
Yeah, they
This
did.
one, yeah, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that same demolishing twice. While I do think they're gonna cover the spread here, I have the Patriots still winning this one. I'm gonna go 26-23.
Hmm. I am going to go ahead. Yeah, they might make this interesting, but I like you said, Natalia ain't gonna be like last week
Right.
because New England, Drake May. I love the ship that they're riding right now. Front runners, and like I said, they'll have the tiebreaker over the Bills in that division. I'm taking New England with the win. I'm taking Cleveland with the points. 28-24, New England over Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tim. I'm taking the Browns with the points because look, as good as the Patriots have been, they do have they do have some weaknesses on that defense, and I don't think the defense is that talented. I think the Browns should be able to move the ball down the field against that defense. And of course the Browns have a strong defense base. And I know Miami was something, but it could also show you how bad Miami has been. But I think it's going to be a good game. So I think in terms of fantasy, I think you could look at Quinton Junkins getting a good start. I think you're looking at Jerry Judy, be able to put up some numbers as well. So, but I think the Patriots are going to wind up winning at the end because they have the better coach and the better quarterback. Give the Patriots to win. My score for that one is 21-17.
All righty then. Uh, Last game on the 1 o'clock schedule. Oh, y'all have an interesting one right here. It's the New York
Mm-hmm.
Giants heading to Philly to take on those chickens, and those chickens are 7 point favorites. Um, I was impressed with the Giants until they let go of that lead. I mean, that was like I said earlier this week. I really felt bad for you guys. It's not as
Mm-hmm.
bad as, but John. I am impressed with Cam Scatterbo. I'm impressed with Jackson Dart. I think they'll make Philadelphia work for the victory. I'm taking Philadelphia with the win, but believe it or not, I'm taking the Giants with the points. I think they could make this closer than a lot of people will expect it to. I'm taking Philly over New York by a score of 31-28.
Yeah, I'm with you on the points here too. Yeah, I mean 2 weeks ago I picked the Eagles as my lock of the week, and boy, did I blow that one. The I think this is a sign that the Giants are finally starting to figure the Eagles out. And as the years progress, well, probably 1-2 years time, I think the Giants are going to be better than the Eagles. But the talent is there now. There's finally a competent quarterback, a competent running back, and maybe the receiving group needs a little more oomph. But I think it's definitely getting there now. I'm expecting Cam Scatterboo to have another good game. Yeah, Jackson Dart I think is going to be a solid game too. On the other side, yeah, I expect Dallas Goedert to have a solid game like he did in the last matchup. Another 100-yard day with a touchdown there. I think Cam Scatterboo could have a potential of a 100-yard scrimmage. Expect Wan'Dale Robinson to get a lot of work. This is going to be a very good game. But the Philly is not going to make that same mistake twice. They're going to win this one, but the Giants are going to cover the spread. I'm going to go 28-26.
I mean, I'm taking the Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles to win. I'm thinking the Eagles are going to cover, and I think the most important thing here was because I think the two big things that derailed the Eagles at MetLife 2 weeks ago was that Jalen Carter did not play and Quinyon Mitchell left the game due to injury. Well, news for the Giants: Jalen Carter came back and Quinyon Mitchell came back last week. So those cats helped out as well. I think you're gonna finally have a good day for Saquon Barkley. I think AJ Brown's gonna go off against a depleted Giants secondary. I just think the factors are there favoring the Eagles. I think the Eagles are gonna be motivated after what happened a couple of weeks ago. So but I think it's gonna be one where the Eagles put the game away late with a late touchdown drive to make it a 2-possession game. So give me the Eagles to beat the Giants 34-24 and cover the spread.
Alrighty then.
It was really tough laying the points because it's a division game, but I just think that the Eagles have too good of a roster not to lose twice to the Giants.
Yeah, I'm kind of that mindset as well. We now go to the late games on Sunday, starting in the Big Easy, New Orleans, with a division matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucks come in at 5.5-point favorites. Wow.
Yeah. This one I'm willing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tim. You're talking first. Go ahead.
Well, Chris Godwin with his injury problems. You lose Mike Evans just when you get him back.
Yeah.
You got Emeka Egbuka. And of course, Baker Mayfield, much better quarterback than what the Saints have with Spencer Rattler. I'm just going to say I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win and cover 20. Give me a score of 28-17, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Yeah, despite Ibuka getting hurt last week, he did come back, but played in limited fashion. Now, next for this week's game, I expect him to be at full strength now, good to go. And he's definitely going to have to be good to go, considering that Evans is done for multiple weeks. We don't know what we're going to get with Godwin. Kate Otten might be a legitimate threat for stealing targets from him. Shepard, not so much. Yeah, I'm expecting to see the Ibuka that we saw in weeks like 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, give me the Bucks to win this one in convincing fashion, 26-16.
Mm-hmm.
So did you just say 26-16 Tampa?
No, yeah, 26-16 Tampa. Yes.
Well, we had the exact same score on that one, but I mean,
Really?
look, I'm yeah. So that's twice we've had the same score on something, but
Oh wow.
yeah, I think that feels kind of right to me. I think Jack's. I think you look at the Bucks and coming off a loss against against an inferior Saints team, and I think the Saints team started to come back down to earth a little bit. So the twice in a row they were underdogs and failed to cover the spread. So, and I think Tampa is going to be looking for a bounce back performance and win. I think they'll do that. I think big game for Baker Mayfield. I think being able to maneuver the Saints defense. It's a I think in this game you have a monster games. I think on tap for on tap for Mika Ibuka, who's back. I could see Sterling Shepard if you're in a if you're in a deeper league and you need a flex option. If he's available on your bench, he might be someone. Um, yeah, but I think Chris Olave on the other side is going to have a good game as well. So I think those two things could be the thing here. And again, another matchup between two former Ohio State wide receivers. So, but in the end, I think the Bucks are going to win and cover.
All right, yeah. Now we go to my game at 4:25 Eastern. It's the Dallas Cowboys heading into Denver to take on the Broncos. The Broncos are 3.5-point favorites.
Ooh.
So I will let you guys speak first.
Yeah, this one is my trap game of the week. This one's really can go either way. You got a lot of great things going for Dallas right now. You got a lot of great things going for Denver right now. Yeah, Denver with that comeback from behind win, that's going to get them motivated. The Cowboys are going to come in really strong too. This game is going to be a slugfest, I think. This game is my highest combined point total of the week. Both of these teams are going to score in the 30s. It's going to come down to a last drive here. And I mean, this point spread is super close, and I'm actually tempted to give the Cowboys the points here. 3.5 is really tough to call, but I think it's going to be closer than that. It's going to come down to a game-winning field goal, I think. But in the end, I'm going to give it to Denver, 34-31.
Upset special. Give me the Cowboys to go on the road and upset the Broncos. And look, over the last three games, the Broncos have only played 2 good quarters in the last 12. I don't think the Broncos are as good as their record indicates. They're an inconsistent team. So the only reason they got into the game was because the Giants starting their best cornerback got hurt, and they had the advantage of throwing on Deontay Banks. Other than that, they were lifeless. They were rudderless. They were clueless. So yeah, I do think you're gonna have big games from Dak Prescott. I think you're gonna have a monster game from CeeDee Lamb, big game George Pickens. I just don't believe in this Broncos team at all. Give me the Cowboys to win this game 27-24 in an upset special.
And you know something, Flynn? It's because of everything that you have said that I am going to take the upset special. I'm going with the Cowboys too. I'm going to do that. It's so great to have CeeDee Lamb back. I mean, they're scoring high points. The inconsistency with Denver, even though they advertise the best defense in the league, looks like a little bit to me, but I am taking the Cowboys. That's my upset special. Cowboys over Broncos, 31-28, last field goal. So, With that being said, we're going to go from an upset special to, well, this is going to be a laugher.
Hmm.
Tennessee Titans going to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. The Colts are 14.5-point favorites.
Yikes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think this one is a tall order. Yeah, I mean, the Colts are very good, but for some reason, I really think the Titans can cover the spread on this one, despite how bad they are. It's a division game, so they're going to be motivated to play tough. They're not going to play that tough, though. They're not going to score a whole ton of points here. The Colts are going to score a lot, but I think the Titans will keep it close at least for a little while. They'll probably get a garbage time touchdown though to just cover that spread at the very end. It's going to be lopsided until the fourth quarter, and then they'll get that garbage time touchdown to keep the spread intact. So give me the Colts to win this one 30-20.
If it wasn't for that Titans fluke win against the Cardinals, we'd be talking about the Titans being the worst team in football, man. I mean, Cam Ward's I actually do feel for him because he was raving in training camp. He was getting rave reviews, but he's had nothing to work around with. The receivers stink. The running back stink. O-line stinks. It all stinks in Tennessee. So it's not only the Colts going to win 28-9. It is my garbage game of the week.
Oh,
and my lock of the week.
Oh wow! Oh, it's a 2-for-1.
Double shot right there from Flynn.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much. And I'm also, and it's just like I agreed with Flynn on my upset pick for Dallas to overcome Denver. I'm locking the Colts as well. Yeah, this is going to be ugly. And yes, I do feel for Cam Ward too. I mean, feel bad for the guy, but in the end, Colts just all the way around a very, very solid offense with a very good defense. Give me the Colts over those Titans by a score of 33-17. So, that being said, we have the Sunday night football game, which this is I'd pay to see this one.
Oh yeah,
I'd pay to see this one. It's the Green Bay Packers at Pittsburgh against the Steelers. And the Packers are 3-point favorites.
Yeah,
to me, this is definitely the game of the week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, yeah. This game, I'm actually opposite. I'm on opposite sides of the spread on this one. I think this is the game for the Steelers to win. I don't think Green Bay is really that good. And yeah, Jordan Love has just been mediocre at best. Yeah, somehow, I mean, the Steelers are pretty capable of winning the division right now. If Lamar Jackson can't continue, obviously the Browns are a mess. Browns are Bengals are a mess. So yeah, I think the Steelers could very well win this division if they keep this up. And yeah, they got a solid running back in Jaylen Warren. Their wide receivers look pretty good. But it's gonna be a close one. I'm actually on the opposite side of the fence here. I have the Steelers winning this one, 27-24. Oh, sorry, 27-26. Excuse me.
You know something, Natale? I'm kind of on the same page as you are. Yeah, Jordan Love has been a little less than what we expected to see him from the last couple of years. And Pittsburgh, they're doing pretty good. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's still playing great even at his age. I'm taking the Steelers over the Packers by a score of 27-23.
Yeah, we're gonna make it 3 for 3. I like the Steelers as well. I think especially with Pittsburgh coming off a loss that Thursday night loss against Cincinnati. I just think they're too good to lose 2 primetime games in a row. And I think Aaron Rodgers against his former team. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of theater. It'll be the first time Aaron Rodgers has played the Packers since he left after 2022. So it's going to be a lot of juice there based upon how the fallout of what happened when the Packers drafted Jordan Love. They never should have drafted Jordan Love in the first place. If they drafted T. Higgins instead, they probably would have won a Super Bowl by now. With Rodgers in Green Bay, maybe Rodgers stays, he goes out, plays his entire career with Green Bay, but that did not turn out to be the case. I'm going to take the Steelers to win 24-20.
All right. Interesting right there. And the Monday Night Football game, of course, this past Monday night, I think, was the last of the doubleheader games for the season. So we're just having one Monday night game from here to the rest of the year. Interesting matchup. The Washington Commanders at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 10-point favorites.
Ooh. Yeah, this one I feel is also a bit of a tall order. Either with Jaden Daniels or no Jaden Daniels.
Right.
I think 10 points is a bit of a tall order. I mean, the Commanders are shaky. I mean, even though the Chiefs are coming around, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with what's his face, Terry McLaurin either. But somehow, some way, I don't know why, but I think the Commanders are going to keep this game close. I'm just going to go on a bit of a low end here. I'm going to go 23-17.
Flynn, what do you got to say on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any team in the NFL has played better than the Kansas City Chiefs over the last month. Yeah, and they completely outplayed Jacksonville on Monday night a couple weeks ago, but they stunningly lost. They stunningly lost that game, but because of one mistake Patrick Mahomes made in that game, which turned out to be the difference in that game. But this team is playing at a high level. They're gelling together at the right time. Patrick Mahomes is one of the could be the leader of the clubhouse for league MVP. When it's all said and done here, yeah. So the 2018 to 2022 iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs are so back, and that means trouble for the rest of the AFC. Give me the Chiefs to stomp a feeble Washington defense, 35-23.
That's a very good score here, and I'm pretty much there. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be a huge victory. It's gonna be a victory for the Chiefs, but I believe that Washington will cover the spread, but not by much. I mean, it'll probably be probably a touchdown. That's the way I see it. So Kansas City will win by 7. Give me the Commanders to cover, but the Chiefs win by a score of 30-23. So that's how we see things with week 8 in the NFL right there. We will go ahead and remove that, and then we will now go and have a little unfinished business before we ride off into the sunset.
Who are the 4 running backs with 5 rushes of 20 or more yards this season? Yeah, I think I immediately thought of my 4 right out of the gate. I got some interesting names here. I'm hoping that at least I'll get at least half of these right. All right, you ready for my answers?
All right.
Yeah,
Tim's is ready afterwards.
Huh? Yeah, that's fine. These are the 4 people I immediately thought of right out of the gate. I'm going Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, and Cam Scatterbo.
Okay, so you got so those 4. What are your picks, Tim?
I'm saying Scatterbo, Gibbs, McCaffrey, and Javonte Williams.
Okay, so you went with Javonte Williams as your last one. So each of you got exactly one right of the four. So
Wait,
and you
let me
both
guess the correct one. Bijan Robinson.
no.
Oh, then it was Gibbs then.
Yes, Gibbs is one with 5.
I I have a feeling Montgomery
The
did it
other
too. Wasn't it? I think Montgomery had a couple big ones. Is Montgomery another one?
the Montgomery had 2.
Oh,
So he that's not it.
Okay.
In terms of the other answers, Christian McCaffrey, you said, he has 0.
oh.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what were the others you said?
Cam Scatterboo.
Yes, Scatterboo has 1.
And then Bijan.
Bijan has 3.
Ah. Yeah, who could it be?
In terms of Tim's incorrect answers, you went with Javonte Williams. You said.
Yeah, I thought Javonte Williams might have had
So
5
he
of
had
those.
4.
Oh, so
So,
close.
Wait
a minute.
who
Oh,
were the
it's got to
others
be
you said?
Saquon. Saquon. It's got to be him.
No, what were the other incorrect answers for Tim?
He said the same things I did. I said basically.
Except
Okay.
for one.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I mean, Saquon has 0. So.
Oh. Who
Okay.
could it be?
So the other 3 are Jonathan Taylor, who leads the league in rushing.
Taylor.
Devon Achan from Miami.
Oh, of course, Achan.
Wow.
Damn it.
And
went way too.
I was actually pretty surprised about this one, considering he was one of my quote unquote fantasy disappointments. The other one is Kenneth Walker III.
Ah.
Wow.
So
never
Jonathan
gotten him.
Taylor, Jameer Gibbs, Devon Achan, and Kenneth Walker III.
Oof.
Wow. So, next question was Natale's.
Yeah. Yeah. I decided we're not going to name the players. I think that's going to be too difficult. So it's going to be which team missed the most field goals in a single game.
I feel like Chicago because it's so windy, so I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Okay, you're going to take the Bears. All right. All right. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm going to, for some reason, I'm leaning toward the Patriots.
Let's see. So we have a Bear and a Patriot. Let's see. Let me go through this list here. Bears and Patriots. All right. Well, the Patriots are not even in the top 25 for that. And yeah, Tim, your guess was number 22.
Okay.
The Bears did that 4 times in 1986. The record.
I guess the Bears. He guessed the Patriots.
Oh, my bad. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through the. Yeah, the Bears made the list, but not the Patriots. The number 1 was then at the time the St. Louis Cardinals. This happened against the Falcons on December 11th, 1966. And the name of this player, let me see, that did that was Jim Bakken.
Jim Bakken.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask you the guy's name of the player because that would have been way too hard.
Yeah, he was before my time, so.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was before all of us were even born. This happened in 1966.
66, yeah.
I'm just going to see if there's anything recent. I'm just going to check really quick, see if there's anything in recent years here. Let's see. Well, we do have something kind of recently. In 11th place was the Titans, 10-6-2019, 4 missed field goals in a single game.
Wow. So that's supposed to be the most recent one, huh?
Yep, most recent occurrence. Everything else was in the 70s, like the 80s, the 60s.
Right. Okay, before I get to my question, let's go back. I want to go back to that one that Dashy had for us. Uh, yeah, he was talking about when Joe Flacco beat the Steelers last week on Thursday Night Football. Named the only other starting quarterback who beat the Steelers in Cincinnati. It was 1998. Game's going way back. So my question is, who was the starting quarterback for the Bengals in '98? Because that's who I'm thinking it is.
Yeah, I unfortunately don't remember the Bengal player's name.
'98, because that was after. I think that was long after Esiason left Cincinnati to go to New York.
I mean that was when the Bengals were dreadful for that 10-15 year span where they were like the worst team in football. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know this either, Dashy. So if you're still out there watching, just let us know. Now, while we're thinking of the answer to that question, see if you guys can answer my question. My question was, which kicker holds the NFL record for the most consecutive games with at least one missed field goal?
Yeah, I had a couple names in my head. Let's see. I had for some reason I had Cody Parkey in mind. He's notorious for missing field goals.
I was thinking the same thing. I was
Yeah.
also thinking Eddie Pinheiro.
That's a good thought. I wasn't considering him. I was also considering Blair Walsh. He's notorious for missing a lot.
No, I think that's over exaggerated based on the miss he had in the playoffs for Minnesota in the wild card game.
Yeah, and I also had Nick Folk in my head too. But my first thought was Cody Parkey, so I'm gonna go Cody Parkey.
Okay,
I mean, I'll go Eddie Pinheiro.
Okay,
No.
Who's that for? Me or Flynn?
That's for both of you guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you said Nick Folk because
Is it him?
I think it was back in 2009. I think it was 2009 or 2008 when Nick Folk was with the Cowboys. He missed five. He had 5 games in a row where he missed at least one field goal. But that's not the record. The kicker that holds the record for most consecutive games with at least one missed field goal, Mason Crosby.
Really?
Whoa! Wow. Really?
Mason Crosby. That was back in the 2012 season with the Green Bay Packers. Week 7 through week 14, those 8 weeks in a row, he missed at least one field goal in each one of those games.
Wow.
Wow.
Right. So that's okay. So, we got the answer to Dashy's question, and it wasn't even a Cincinnati Bengal.
Neil O'Donnell.
O'Donnell.
Jeez. In the Neil O'Donnell revenge game.
Yeah, it was 98. Beat the Steelers. Yeah. Yeah, the only time I really remember when Neil O'Donnell was back in Super Bowl 30.
Yeah. Yeah, the '94 AFC Championship game was pretty bad too. They were big favorites against the Chargers, and they lost that game.
Yeah, they did. So I guess Dashy stumps us once again. So I guess with that, we can go ahead and put a really big bow on this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Flynn, you just released an episode of Hooked on Sports. I think it was late last night or earlier today. I understand.
Today.
You just had a little little review of Week 17, slight preview of Week 8. But we got basketball season just started this evening.
Yeah.
Hockey
Yeah,
season's in full swing.
I mean, tremendous game tonight between the OKC and Houston to open up the season. The game went into double overtime. The
Wow.
first game of the NBA on NBC. Of course, Seattle, Toronto. That game 7, George Springer's 3-run homer to send the Blue Jays to the World Series. So the World Series will be Dodgers Jays. Game 1 is on Friday in Toronto.
Dodgers in 5 is my prediction.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than people think because Toronto is going in with momentum. That they were, and the Blue Jays are only the 4th team in postseason history to win a best of 7 after losing the first 2 games at home. The others who did it were the '85 Royals, the '86 Mets, and the '96 Yankees, who all did it in the World Series. So this is the first in the league championship series, and it went to best of 7 in '85.
Yeah, but I'm not rooting for either one.
Yeah, neither here. So y'all be sure to listen to Hooked on Sports on Apple iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, wherever you get your podcast. And of course, you can also watch Hooked on Sports on his YouTube channel, which is of course the same channel that you're watching this show on right now.
Yep.
So y'all be sure to catch that. And of course, tomorrow night, catch the Pain Game Pick'em show with Alex, Lucas, and yours truly on the YouTube channel, Fizzle 90. So, and of course, we'll be back here next week at the same time. Very interesting show and very interesting surprises and disappointing list. That was very good, I must say.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And so, with me, because I need to get to bed, we'll go ahead and close up this edition of Fantasy Football Fever Champ Pack Show. I'm out of breath. My throat is getting hoarse. So I'm just going to try to say this. For John Flynn, for John Natale, my name is Tim McClelland. Enjoy the games, everyone. Thank you for watching us. We'll see you next week right here. God bless you all. And as always,
be a good sport.
That's right. See you guys.
Yep.